Lotargar friends. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for another Orc Mode workout. And yes, we are going into the full Orc Mode type training at this point, which means it's going to be full concurrent training. Now I'm actually going to start doing some singles. We're still going to work mostly in the 1 to 3 on the heavy days. We're still going to work mostly up, somewhere in the 5 to 10 on the repetition days. And then of course, obviously I'll have dynamic effort days worked in later. But I built up to a relatively heavy single. Now, this isn't necessarily my max. This isn't a true max right now. But I do need to start building up to singles. I did have a long weekend, and I decided to not do anything that puts strain on the lower back. No, I didn't train. No, there's nothing related to training because my back felt great for a couple days after my squat day on Thursday, squat and deadlift. I did notice some cramping, though, in that same record that I had pulled this weekend. And I'm talking days after the last time I did any training for it. So we did squats and deadlifts Thursday, and I started noticing a little bit of cramping on Sunday. So I decided, let's go ahead and work pull-ups back in instead of the rows, just in case, so that when Thursday gets here again, we can go ahead and squat, deadlift, do all that stuff. Because next week is going to be our first max effort squat day. So I need to prepare for that a bit. So I didn't go super heavy, though. I mean, it was kind of a long weekend for me. And I didn't get the best sleep last night, which I'm working on. Factors in my life outside of my training. So I didn't get as much rest as I'd like, so I'll probably crash out really good tonight and sleep like 9 or 10 hours. But did a quick 305. Pause, close grip. And that's a good place to start. And we'll ramp up. And I will rotate exercises to some extent on this, but people need to understand I am not doing the actual conjugate method. All right, this is a concurrent periodization, but people need to understand there are a lot of templates people use that borrow large amounts of elements from Westside and from the concurrent periodization model he's done in the conjugate method, but a lot of people do different variations that are not the same, particularly for a lot of people who want to add in different conditioning and GPP. So we're borrowing elements from it, but it's not the same thing. So it doesn't mean we're going to only use the same max effort exercise once every 6 weeks. I will start rotating them some, but they're not going to be done in that manner, right? And we're not going to build to just one exercise with a true all-out max always either. So like today, I went ahead and did a fairly heavy single also with the press, just to get into the habit of going heavier, because I've been doing nothing but rep work on this. I've been working mostly with 8s. So we need to start building back up. Even though I'm continuing to cut, even though I'm doing conditioning work, we do need to start separating the heavier days from the volume days more and more in terms of intensity. Just to be safe, I decided to go ahead and do some pull-ups today for my upper back pulling. And it's fine. It's people always think, oh, you've abandoned this exercise. No, a lot of these exercises you guys have seen me do historically, we're going to be rotating them in regularly as assistance and accessory movements on this system, right? Because I am going to be doing a lot of training volume, and there's going to be exercise variation, but my variations are not going to be big variations. That's what people need to remember. It's all going to be mostly basic lifts, other than a few minor things that are still standing exercises, right? Things like the laterals with the kettlebell, things like my cheat curls. Those are going to be the very, very few things that are not my normal classic exercises. We're doing close variations, and they're all basic things. So, we did pull-ups today instead of rows. And it's funny, people will see this and be like, oh, this is flip-flop. Not really, guys. Did anyone not realize I used to train like this all the time? People started associating me so much with just full body 3 days a week or with Bulgarian training that they don't understand that I have many, 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 many years in the past of history of doing concurrent style training like this. When my channel was fairly new, I was training like this. Guys, I was training like this 5 or 6 years ago. People forget when I was doing all the heavy good mornings and trap bar deadlifts and even sumo deadlifts, right? Are we forgetting that since I've been a YouTuber, I've done a 600 sumo deadlift? Does anyone forgot that? Anyone forgot that I've done, 600 trap bar deadlifts? Low handle, not the high handle. You should be able to add 200 pounds with the high handle, by the way. So 600 low handle turns into an 800 high handle. Are they forgetting all that? Are they forgetting me doing the almost 400 pound good mornings? It was all there, guys. It's all there. I used to even box squat. Yeah, of course we did. So we did the pull-up again, built to a nice heavy triple, And then I decided with the floor press, because I'm doing close grip, I feel stronger on close grip. I feel like close grip bench is a better mass builder. I do need to bring my wide grip bench up. And for me, I'm gonna use my floor press to do that, right? Because I like the close grip. I feel like right now, because I haven't done wide grip, I can handle bigger weights with the close grip. I feel like it's a better builder overall. In many cases, we could argue that point. But because I'm stronger at it and through a longer range of motion, because it's what I've been training, I need to continue to train it. But I feel like I can start building the wider grip strength with a normal with floor press. So I'm going to do some of that. Right? We're going to do some of that. And eventually I may take my bench out wider. I may take it out wider. But we'll use this to help build that bench up. And so I'm going to do it as an assistance movement. Obviously I'm doing it on heavier days like this. And there will be a point where it will be a max effort exercise as well, right? Obviously I'm going to do some max effort with it eventually. But for now, we need to get that bench up. And I'll probably try to hit 315 next week on the close grip pause. 305 was just getting used to singles again. It was a nice challenging single. We'll shoot for 315 and then upward and onward, right? I mean, and even if I maintain 315 plus close grip while I'm cutting, that'll be good during the cut. Eventually, I'm going to need to bring that up. That's not going to be great long term, but I will not be cutting forever either. But all things considered, I'm decently happy with the pressing strength for now, considering the cut, considering I haven't really had an appreciable amount of carbs in about 3 weeks. And that's a whole nother topic. I'm going to do more videos explaining some of that. A lot of people don't understand why I did that. People forget that even though I might have some objections to ketogenic diets, I do try to keep with the current evidence. And people forget that I have done keto for many, many, many years. I'm not someone who's only just tried keto and then, you know, has their opinions about it. It hasn't been that long since I was on keto for a year straight, right? Remember the orc mode video for the diet and that picture up front? I had been on keto for over a year. I had been keto for over a year when that picture was taken. And that was only in 2015. So pretty much for all of 2015, I was on a keto diet. I mean, I think everyone forgets this stuff. So a lot of what I'm doing is just coming around full circle. It's coming around full circle. And I have reasons for doing it. And it doesn't mean that I'm suggesting it to everyone. You know, just like I'm doing concurrent periodization. Do I suggest concurrent periodization to everyone? No. No, I do not. In fact, I think most people need a full body 3 days a week. I'm going to say 80% of lifters probably never have a reason to deviate from full body 3 days a week. I'll just be honest. 4 out of 5 people who join a gym will get best results doing that. And they'll never advance enough to need anything else. They won't. Do I think everyone should be doing a ketogenic diet? Not necessarily, no. Now, is it going to work with the philosophy of what I'm doing? Of course it is. But it doesn't mean that I think everyone in the whole world should be doing it. I think there are risks. I think there can be problems with it if you're not careful. It has drawbacks. For me, though, it's great diet adherence. I can eat and track my calories perfectly on it. I don't have appetite issues. So that's what it comes down to me. And there's other things we could discuss as far as hormones and everything else with it, but that's a whole different topic. But we did the laterals today. Instead of 4 sets, I did 3 sets and just upped the reps. The reps are probably going to keep going up on this. This is the heaviest kettlebell I have. I'm going to need heavier kettlebells. And that's a 25. So I ended up doing 12s, I think, for the last couple sets. So the reps are going to probably keep going up on this. But, you know, the point here is that when you're strong on all your big exercises, some of these little smaller movements, you'd be surprised how quick you develop muscle off of them when you have a base built. And that's why they really take a secondary role. But I'm going to remind people again, this is a core exercise for me. There's a reason I'm doing them the way I'm doing them. And I mean, laterals are something I could discuss again later. It's an exercise I've discussed a lot in the past. People forget that. I've discussed right and wrong ways to do it, safe ways to do it, ways to not hurt yourself, because if you do laterals the way most bodybuilders do, you will injure yourself eventually. It's almost impossible not to. You got to remember, bodybuilders are stupid. As a general rule, most bodybuilders are stupid. They are the dumbasses of the training world. And everyone knows that. That's accepted. Bodybuilders don't seem to realize that, but everyone else knows it. They're the dumbass meatheads. Some exceptions. But you guys will notice my thumb is up, by the way. I'm not turning my pinky up. But yeah, this is the one small exercise that we're going to do for now on my max effort upper body day, if we want to call it that. So yeah, that's what I'm throwing in at the end after my 4 bigger heavy movements. and we'll save the cheat curls for the squat and deadlift days. All right, guys, well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.